anti-immigrant group in South Africa has been going to hospitals to prevent foreigners from getting treatment.
If you know yourself that you're not South African, please stand up. Please stand up.
There are these trending videos that are making around currently on the space of YouTube, and I feel like I needed to come out here, give my opinion, give my input based on what is up for Ghana, Nigeria versus South Africa, for what is known as protest against Nigerians in Ghana, South Africa, currently as we speak. And there are certain ways so many Nigerians are receiving it and taking it. So I feel we need to put our cards on the table, just as plain, as truthful, as honest as it is, and address this whole trending ongoing issues, misunderstanding between these countries, right? And as a Nigerian representing my own country, Nigeria, I do not stand for sides. I only stand on the path of nothing but the bitter and the brutal truth. So it might hit you anyhow, any which way ever, but take it as nothing but the truth, because the truth is bitter. So on this hand, Ghanaians are saying Nigerians must go, and currently they have recently locked up some or most of the shops of Nigerians in Ghana who are doing business illegally or petty trading, which is totally against the law as stipulated in Ghana. And on this hand, South Africans as well are saying no more, foreigners in their own government-owned hospitals, that the government-owned hospitals are for South Africans. If you are a foreigner in any which way whatsoever, go and use the private hospitals or other hospitals made available. So we're definitely going to take these videos. I wouldn't want to intercept, so I'll kindly oblige you, watch patiently to the end, pay attention to details without sentiment, emotions, and bias. You know how we do it right here. So welcome to today's episode. If you are new here, hi, this is Chiviki Inspirations, aka Victoria Chinyere, and on here we react, analyze, educate, entertain by delving deep into topics that interest us as countries in Africa, particularly between Nigeria, Ghana, South Africa, and other African Western, countries, as the case may be. So if you find this place quite interesting, don't make it your last. Definitely share your thoughts, your opinion, unbiased, down there in the comments, right? And with all this being said, ladies and gentlemen, let's take these videos, and I will be right back.
An anti-immigrant group in South Africa has been going to hospitals to prevent foreigners from getting treatment.
If you know yourself that you're not South African, please stand up. Please stand up. Please don't try and stand up right now. Stand up. Sister, are you South African? Are you South African? Because we are going to check everybody. Check them. Please, if you're not South African, come with me. Come. Come with me. Come. Come. You guys are not South African, go out. You can go to Unjani, block P or Hotel Hospital, go. Hey, pass. What's Zimbabwe, you run past and go to the border. South African. Please stand up. If you know yourself that you're not South African, all these nurses and doctors, they are here for South Africans. Please stand up. Don't try us. What's that? You run past the border again.
Wow, that's just one incident, by the way. So apparently this has been happening for months now, especially after a politician, Andre Lesufi, said that South African hospitals are overflowing with foreigners and that is causing a strain on the hospital and public infrastructure. So the anti-immigrant group is known as Operation Dudula, and they decided to take it upon themselves to go from hospital to hospital, demanding that patients should produce their international passports, and if you're not South African, they threaten to beat you up if you don't leave.
Ngicela i-South African ID esandleni. If ungayiphethe ngicela ufonele endlini bakuthumezele nge-WhatsApp, either uyahamba uyoyilanda.
They were demanding the identity documents of anyone wanting to enter. The organization says immigrants should not benefit from state-funded health facilities. This woman showed her Mozambican passport, and Dudula vigilantes refused to allow her in.
This is not just about whether they are legal or illegal immigrants, by the way. This is about if you're not South African, you don't deserve to get treated in our hospitals.
We don't want any illegal, we don't want any foreigners. It's legal or legal or illegal. We don't want them to get a health service here because our facilities are limited.
Now, keep in mind, I believe that they've been doing this at government hospitals where people are supposed to get free medical care. So they're saying that you don't deserve to get free medical care in our hospital. As for Operation Dudula, this is their argument.
South Africa belongs to South Africa, Zimbabwe belongs to Zimbabweans, Nigeria belongs to Nigeria. We will not be having South Africans sidelined just because we're being told about human rights, which never apply in Zimbabwe.
We are entitled to everything first. Foreigners must go back home and go to their own hospital.
We're trying to protect our facilities in South Africa. We're coming to check the people that are coming in the clinics is originally South Africans.
Wow. We don't want South African doctors and nurses to be overwhelmed. We want them to have a great life. We want them to enjoy their free medical treatment. But don't you guys think this is selective racism? There are so many foreigners in South Africa. Is there a reason why the African immigrants are the ones being targeted? I'm not saying that anybody should be targeted at all. I just don't understand why it has to be the black people that are being targeted. So what I don't understand is why the South African government, first and foremost, is allowing the Dudula to continue to do this. I mean, if Ghanaians have been maltreated by Nigerians in Nigeria, the Nigerian government is expected to take action and stop it immediately. So I think the first thing that worries me as a person is the government of South Africa not doing enough to stop these people. I think the government really needs to call them to order. Before even talking about what they're fighting for or why they're fighting, I don't think it is right for the government to look away while this is happening, because guess what? It's affecting a lot of people. It's affecting sick children. They're turning away sick children.
I'm afraid about my baby not getting immunization. What's gonna come? You see, and we don't have money to go to the private clinic because it's too much expensive.
And it's affecting pregnant women. There's a video that I saw of a pregnant woman who's 35 weeks pregnant, supposed to have her baby a month after, and she was turned back simply because she's from Zimbabwe.
This is Susan. She's from Zimbabwe. She's 35 weeks pregnant. She has been turned away from receiving healthcare at the OR Tambo clinic in Diepsloot.
Maybe umntana sikhathi sakhe sokuthi aphume sesifikile mina kumapheni wangijikisa. Izobe inye problem. Maybe ngizobuya lapha endlini, ngithethele endlini, and then angitholanga help. Mina nomntana singakona kushana.
And if you're wondering what the hospitals are doing, or let me say some of the hospitals are doing while this is happening, nothing.
The security at this clinic aren't doing anything to stop these ID checks. They say it's not part of their job description.
Now, I know that so many of you are upset right now with this development. However, I think it's very important to also know that not all South Africans approve of this. In fact, when Operation Dudula protested in July against foreigners and they marched to the office of the Socio-Economic Rights Institute, a lot of human rights organizations in South Africa, we're talking about South Africans, they were there to prevent Operation Dudula from entering that office. Of course, it led to some scuffle, but there are so many South Africans who believe that foreigners are not the problem of South Africa, but corruption in the government of South Africa.
All human rights bodies are doing a good job, and what these guys are doing is wrong.
So they believe that instead of fighting foreigners, that Operation Dudula should focus on the government. Personally, I think that it's a shame. I really think it's a shame for the leaders of many African countries, especially Zimbabwe and the countries around South Africa, and more importantly, the government of Nigeria. I think it's a shame for our government to see how their citizens are being treated all these years in South Africa, because it didn't start today. There has been several xenophobic attacks in South Africa. Not just that. Remember the bold Uber drama with Nigerians? And now sick people are being prevented from getting treatment, including pregnant women. And our leaders are still not doing anything. I don't understand. I don't get it, because what else has to happen to your citizens in South Africa before you will care? It's obvious that this thing will not stop. Today, it's sick people that they are targeting. They've actually already announced that starting next year, they will be going into schools, removing children of foreigners from schools, whether they entered the country legally or illegally. If you will not listen to us begging you to fix our countries, shouldn't this convict you and make you want to do the right thing by the people? I mean, if our countries are doing well, I don't think that a lot of these people will be in South Africa. With the way that some of these people are being treated, especially Zimbabweans, I don't think they would want to remain in South Africa if they know that going back home means better opportunity for them. Although, to be honest, who am I kidding? Because We're being maltreated in several countries around the world, and it has not inspired our leaders to care. There are so many Nigerians that have died in Libya. Many of our young people have died in the Mediterranean Sea. They see that news all the time and they're not doing anything. Now, with the South African story, as you guys would notice, and like I mentioned earlier, they are targeting free clinics where the patients are usually not that well to do. It seems to me that poor people like to fight poor people.
Some people are really sick and they don't have money. They need help. So what will happen if someone dies there?
Instead of us coming together to fight the government that makes us poor, we would rather fight each other. So before we point fingers at South Africans for discriminating against us, let's not forget that we're doing the same thing to each other, especially in how we treat the less privileged. I'm pretty sure that by now many of you would have seen the story of a pregnant woman who was rejected by 2 hospitals in Nigeria because she didn't have 28,000 naira. This is a Nigerian woman in Nigeria. And the only reason that we got to know about this woman, by the way, is because of Ondeku Joy. You can find her on TikTok. She was the one that was uploading the video because she was the one that saw this pregnant woman walking by the roadside. And you know what baffles me the most is Asokoro District Hospital, this is a general hospital, asking her to go and get a referral from her previous hospital before they would treat her. You send a heavily pregnant woman to go and get a referral. I mean, why does a woman in labor need referral to have a baby at any facility? When she got to the previous hospital, those ones said that this woman was already in labor.
Did you say she's in labor now? She's in labor, like this. I don't want here. Talk to me. No. You've not gotten anything for the baby.
And they also did not admit her, by the way. They gave her the referral. And then the Good Samaritan who recorded her video was the one taking her everywhere, by the way. So they went back to Asokoro General Hospital. Somebody that nurses had already confirmed was in labor. And we saw a video of her struggling to climb stairs at the Asokoro Hospital. And I'm like, how? A pregnant, heavily pregnant woman in labor. Nobody thought to bring her a wheelchair. How? Somebody carrying twins. And then they told them to go and do registration first. Like, hey, God. And then after doing registration and everything, that is when the doctors now told them there was no bed, that they have to go to another hospital. And that was the first time that we see them put her on a wheelchair as she was going downstairs. And they still did not take this woman to another hospital by ambulance. I don't know if it was Uber or Bolt, but the Good Samaritan was the one taking her to another hospital. Guess what happened? When they got to Maitama Hospital, they told them the beds there were also filled up. How many hospitals now? Remember, she had one hospital that referred her to Asokoro. Now Asokoro referred her to Maitama. And now Maitama also said their beds were full. And that is when they went to the National Hospital, where she was finally accepted. They took her in the labor room, and of course, she ended up losing both children. She lost both babies. I can't even tell you how upset I am about this whole story. But guess what they told her? They said both babies had died days ago, even before she went to the hospital.
They said, since I'm feeling as a labor, that I don't have the money to come now, that they have already died inside me for some days. They are beginning to be Jesus.
But how are we supposed to know exactly when the babies died, when they were sending her from hospital to hospital to hospital? Somebody that they should have been monitoring closely for weeks. And I just couldn't help but wonder, if she had been the daughter of any of our politicians, would she have been treated like that? And then again, I was like, what am I talking about? Politicians don't go to general hospitals. And I think that is the problem. Because in other countries, politicians go to the same hospitals that the people that they are representing go to. And so because the doctors and nurses can never tell who is about to come into the hospital, they are always well behaved. The mayor goes to the same hospital like the rest of us do. The lawmakers go to the same hospitals like the rest of us do. When the president is sick in America and in so many other countries, they don't fly them abroad. They don't go to another. In fact, they like taking them to veterans hospital. And so I think that is the biggest problem. The fact that our representatives are not going to the same facilities as the people that they are representing. At the same time though, what happened to the health minister's announcement like 6 months ago that pregnant women with complications will get free treatment?
I hear that you declared free cesarean session for pregnant women.
Yes, free treatment of emergency obstetric complications for women in the empaneled facilities, and that includes cesarean section. So it's not only cesarean section, so emergency obstetric complications, excessive bleeding, of course obstruction, other complications of pregnancy.
I mean, if a woman is carrying twins, isn't that considered a high-risk pregnancy? Because there is an increased chance of complications for both the mother and the babies compared to a singleton pregnancy. I think that it's very important that the health minister is also aware of this story and know that despite the fact that he announced something on national TV, the reality on ground may still be different. But even the doctors and nurses at that hospital, if they are not aware of the government stand, I thought doctors all over the world take an oath to save lives first. They treat them first, questions later. Let me know if this is different in your own country. But in an emergency situation, the first thing to do is save a life. Many people will argue that you can't do that in Nigeria. People will not pay later. And that is why everybody should have health insurance, or we should have universal health care. That's a conversation for another day. But we
Yeah, let me laugh out loud. Few days ago, before their dry protest, I did warn them and I said, see, Ghanaians are not stupid though. Ghanaians are very intelligent people. They may be quiet, but they are intelligent. They are not that gullible.
Hi everyone, welcome to Ghana Observer, and thank you all so much for stopping by. I truly appreciate it. Before we get to this lunatic on the loose in Ghana, let's first give ourselves a round of applause for a job well done on Saturday. Well done, well done, well done. And a big thank you to Dr. Ayariga for showing up for us. And now to this sneaky, manipulative maniac who actually thinks he can get away with threatening Ghanaians on our own land. Oh my goodness gracious.
I posted a video of a protest we did in 2021. And that video has gone viral and everywhere. Comparing to the dry protest that they shamefully went through the streets yesterday. And okay, when I don't see the video, that was the protest that was held by Hassan Ayariga and his people. So as you can see, the protest on the left-hand side, maybe Hassan Ayariga and his people, the dry protest when they do, I call it 35-man walk. Because if Ghanaians are very intelligent people. Yesterday for second, I saw that they look them like people who don't lose. Ghanaians come, they shout, come and join, blah, 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 Nigeria taking over everywhere. The other one, don't they? Nobody they mind themselves. Ghanaians just they watch and say, who be all these ones? My brother, we just wanted you to test. And you see that Ghanaians are not supporting you. You're on your own. You people are just on your own. Ghanaians, they know the truth. All these things you are saying, they're intelligent people. They know the truth. They know that Nigerians have brought prosperity to Ghana. They know that, yes, there are criminals in every tribe. It has nothing to do with nationality. It has nothing to do with tribe. Anywhere you are, a Ghanaian, I beg, clap for yourself. You've done well.
Folks, do you see how glibly he lies with a forked tongue? And while he's at it, he's trying to bring their divisive Nigerian spirit to inject it into us Ghanaians, which will never work. We will never accept it. You can keep that nonsense in your divided Nigeria, not here in Ghana. When they don't get their way, they always throw tantrums like spoiled brats. Look at the lies he's just opening his mouth and regurgitating. So why are you so desperate to be in a place you're not wanted? Take all your banks and leave. And Ghana is going to continue to thrive. What you have not done in your country, you want to claim that you've done for us. And we say no more. It's over. Accept it and move on. Look at how he's lying. Ridiculous. What a loser.
Every day. The last time you did the protest, it was about 48. You did say you paid them, you bossed them. Fine. Now it don't reduce to 35. Maybe the next time you do it will remain like 11 disciples. Until now go hit any Nigerian shop or any Nigerian business, now that time, now we'll teach you how to protest. That's what we are saying. We will not attack anybody, but if you attack any Nigerian, we'll teach you how to protest. You remember 2021, we taught you how to protest. So if you go hit any Nigerian shop, we'll teach you how to protest. You have a right to peaceful protest, no doubt. You feel protest from now to tomorrow, now your country. But what we are saying, don't touch any Nigerian and don't touch any Nigerian shop.
When you quite say we are retail business, as a foreigner, I work Ghana. You may be one more Ghana from Kwana somewhere. And so if you fire Shahayama, I work for and I say foreigners, I bet you just send you money in every Ghana for them. Internet GIPC officials and I'm going to I was so kind. Foreigners are more illegal business. I'm shops, no, you're close Nina. I'm do higher say, hey, only quite say we are operation and I say we are business. We near to you call the next shop. In Remonu, we are foreigner, only quite say retail business. No, we are not shops, no, so you're close. And Tasha say, Wahano, Ebeko baby, Cycle, Kumase, Tamale, baby Biara, William said, a year foreigners, why? You want Muyano, a Ugan in a foreigner. Contact GIPC for Omaba,
Now, the Southafrican action no yabe take. Inti na there shops are closing 3,344 billion. Who say man no day? Man day.
Folks, as you can see, our protests are already yielding results. So try to just ignore the naysayers. What we have planned and purposed will be accomplished. So don't let their empty loudness, braggadocious ways, the aggressiveness that they try to use to intimidate people, disturb our peace. We're not going to allow it to. If you are doing illegal things in Ghana, we are going to stop them. This is our country and we dictate the terms. You trying to minimize the impact of what took place on Saturday ain't gonna work. If 35 people showed up, yeah, right. Or 45 or 11, whatever you're trying to do, as usual, to demean and belittle while you are in someone's land. Not in your Nigeria. Not in your Nigeria spouting this BS. You are on our land. The delusion is beyond comprehension. And that's why Nigeria is the way it is. Your delusional imaginations, embellishments, and lies are too much.
All right, it's been quite a lot, and I don't want to be very, very emotional here. I really want to be in the best of my emotions, yes, because most times when you see videos like this coming from, Nigerians' reaction, the way they take it, the way they receive it from other countries, as we've seen today, based on this young man that has been all around in the cases of Ghanaians in Ghana, right? I want to start with that. Threatening, abusing, demeaning, insulting Ghanaians in their own country for taking decisions, taking actions that are well deserving of them, saying that enough of the attitude, enough of the bad behavior, the crimes, and the breaking of laws, rules that are binding on foreigners, especially as Nigerians in Ghana, right? You heard him come out times without number, making silly comments, silly statements. But thankfully, I don't know whom this lady is as a Ghanaian, in the person of Ama Ghana Observer. It's one lady that I so respect. I've said this over time, and I like and love the way she stands out to, speak out and voice out nothing but the truth in defense of her country. And that is what it should be. And I love the way she had to put that man that looks mentally deranged and unstable in his rightful position and place. This is just the beginning. How do I feel about that? How do I feel about all this? I feel no certain way, first of all, for Ghanaians, anyway biased or emotional, entitled for Ghanaians taking actions in their country, because the law is the law. it must be respected, it must be obeyed. And as a foreigner, you own the right to do just as you are required of. Nothing more, nothing short of that. And if you, at the end of the day, find it uncomfortable, uncalled for, you are not non-acceptable, the least and the best, like you've rightly heard, you can do is to leave. Go back to your country as a Nigerian, as any foreigner that is, breaking the laws in Ghana, and fix your country. Particularly, emphasis on Nigerians, because you see, it is too quick and safe for us, like Adiola, my sister, have said, to blame others, to call them names as xenophobic, to call them names as, racist, tribalistic. They hate us as Nigerians. They dislike us. They are jealous of us. Jealous of a country that, at the end of the day, cannot stay back in their own country. A people that can't stay back in their own country and fix their country, so that at least we can be in the position to say, okay, we have all it takes, and treat others the way we feel we can treat them, that you think they are doing to you that you don't like. Meanwhile, it's their law. And all you can say and do as a Nigerian is to sit down and feel entitled, to the point of, exhibiting emotional blackmail, to all these countries. Now, look at a country as Nigeria that don't have any good. You heard it from the horse's mouth. I'm glad and happy that everything is self-explanatory, according to my sister Diola. It doesn't even have any medical facility whatsoever. The other day, the Senate President, Godswill Akpabio, had, health challenge, and immediately from the Senate House, he was flown outside the country for medical treatment. Which country, at the end of the day, and its people, its leaders, think, act, and behave in this manner? Now, looking at the video clip of the young lady way back home in Nigerian hospital that was heavily pregnant, that lost the baby, how she was being treated way back here in Nigeria. Way back here in Nigeria is the kind of system operations we carry out here in Nigeria. Then you expect that you can go to other people's country and get, same free medical or even more better, because South Africa has more than what it takes out there in South Africa, free of charge with entitlement. And when they say no, you begin to call them names. You begin to call them names. You begin to abuse them. You begin to feel like they hate you and they are jealous of you that have nothing to offer. Like, what do most Nigerians at this point have to offer in all these countries as South Africa, Ghana, name it? Rather, they are the one always on the receiving end. There's one common adage that people who are always, quick to receive, on the side of receiving, hardly give, because they don't have anything, right? It is what you have, you give. So it is so obvious, like practically obvious, that we lack everything humanly possible as a country, as a people, to call Nigeria a country when it comes to our healthcare sector, our facilities, our services, and the rest of it. Look at that young lady losing her babies. Thank God she even had a life. She had a life today. If not, everything would have been gone. And there are several millions of cases, thousands of cases as this happening way back in Nigeria. And it is these same Nigerians that will feel like they have the rights in other people's country. It is always Nigeria that always have the right to speak and challenge other people in their country. They claim they help other people to develop their country, to build their country. But meanwhile, the reverse is the case in their country. How pathetic, how gullible, how distasteful, how shameful is it as a country that for once, like my sister is stating clearly, for once, we can see that we are our own problems. I really blame her, because she doesn't even know what most of these Nigerians go out there to do, because it hasn't happened to you. They don't just go there, get these benefits, lie low and do their businesses legally, but they go there illegally, do illegal businesses, commit these crimes, and at the end of the day, expect that they will be embraced, they will be hugged. Just look at that lunatic of a man. I needed to play it out, because most times, at the end of the day, when we come out as Nigerians to show these things that we Nigerians go out to other people's country to do, without evidencing it, you say it's over-exaggerated, it's over-emphasized, it's over this, it's over that. Come on, are you kidding me? Are you kidding me? South Africa is for South Africans. And do you know that these same illegal foreigners as Nigerians and other countries national in South Africa are so detrimental to South Africans, the natives, the blacks, whites, all races of South Africans, that they are displacing them of their own entitled benefits? To the point that it got to the point, before you see that this group of Operation Dudula came out to start protesting and driving away illegal foreigners, even Nigerians, it got to the point that even they themselves were being deprived of their own right in their country. Like come office, who does that? And on the other hand, the same thing in Ghana. Ghanaians are even deprived, misplaced of their shops, their business opportunities that they are entitled to as indigenes by these same Nigerians. Is the audacity for me. Then you expect them to keep quiet? And you open your Gotham mouth to tell them that, they can do whatever they like, but they should not touch your shop, they should not touch your business. Like, how dare you? How dare you in another man's country, and you have no place in your country, you have no rights in your country, you have no say in your country, you have no facility, you have no benefit, you have no belonging, you have nothing, absolutely nothing. That's why you are too scared and stupid enough, foolish enough not to return back home, because you would definitely most times, or in most cases, return back to nothing. Look at how we are being treated, even way back, we ourselves in Nigeria. Then it is this same we Nigerians that needs good treatment. When you don't even have good treatment way back home, how do you expect to go to other people's country and rob them of their own treatment? Make it make sense. Who will stay in their own house and allow foreigners or a stranger, a visitor, to chase them out of their own house that they own by themselves? Like, oh my God, this is crazy, man. Who does this? And when we talk about it, you say you hate us, you're xenophobic. Who cares at this point? Call it whatsoever, Nigerians, with this your manipulative, gullible attitude, entitled commentary, speeches, hate, this, that, whatever. Who cares? All that matters is that the owners of these countries, as Ghana, South Africa, Kenya, every country will own their own. So get your ass put together and go back home and fix your shit together, because nobody's coming to save us. Nobody's coming to change it until we learn to use the same energy we exert in threatening, insulting, abusing other country citizens in their own country, that channel that energy back to our own country and fix our country, the better for us. That is nothing but the truth. So at this point, I don't come with emotions. So even though I feel pity for the lady that lost her baby, because this broke me to bits, to be realistic, because she's a human being. We are all humans. But look at the way fellow Nigerians treated their own. And look at the lying-tongued leaders, gullible, distasteful, evil, wicked leaders we have. Tell me why the citizens will not be even 10 times, 100 times worse than their leaders with this energy they have. Look at that man that looks like somebody that escaped from the zoo, from the psychiatric home. Have the audacity. And if you go over there in South Africa, see the way they're challenging them. So whether all South Africans support or not, all Ghanaians support or not, what matters most is that people who are interested in their country to protect and defend their country will stand up and do so. So don't come with that blame tactics. After all, most of them don't support what they are doing. It is just the few number of them that support. And so what? And so what? And so what? Carry that energy, go and fix your country. Shameless people have sold your shame and bought disgrace at this point. Because tell me, which normal human being in their rightful thinking, rightful senses, will go to another man's country to feel entitled? Who does that? Who does that? Well done to all South Africans, Ghanaians who are standing up to protect what they have. Because if you have something you don't know the value, criminals will take it from you. They will displace you, just like you see, they are displacing Ghanaian traders in their own country. Go there in Ghana. Go there in Ghana. Nigerians are almost chasing all the owners of the country out of their businesses with their tricky, evil, criminally minded ways. And you expect these people to keep quiet. Well done to you all. Enough is enough. It will continue to happen until it becomes so uncomfortable for most of you criminals and illegal foreigners, until you find your route to say, okay, you know what, I'm done. Let me go and face my country. Face it, face your fears once and for all. Because he who leaves a fight and run away lives to come back and fight another day, because that fight will be waiting for you. Not just me alone. If you like, call me a hater, call me a this, call me that. I don't care at this point. My own is to come here and state fact. They will just the way it is, without sentiment, emotions, and bias. And ladies and gentlemen, let me not bore you guys. This is what we have for today. You have seen it. What do you think? What are your thoughts, your opinion, your input? Kindly leave them in the comment section. If you find it quite interesting here, don't make it your last. Hit on the subscription button to stay subscribed and turn on the bell notification. Yes, and please help me to like this video, share for more people to see. And then don't forget to share your thoughts. Very important in the comment section. Let's have this conversation going. What do you think? I want to hear from you. Let it not seem as though I'm the only one talking, right? And with that, I will see you in my next one. Ciao, ciao.